Go. All right, we're back. Solve analysis. We got Bumbacuber1, 5x5, average 150. What do you consider to be the best part of your solve? Centers. What do you consider the worst part? First 8 edges. Oops. He's been cubing for about 2.5 years. Practices about 14 hours or more, so minute 50 average, pretty solid for 2.5 years. And that is all the info we got. No extra notes, so we're just gonna jump right on into it. Let's see. That cube looks non-magnetic and bad. I don't even know what it is, but there's no way there's magnets in it. It looks like really stiff and like, yikes. Pro tip 1, I would, I mean, you don't need to. You're probably fine at 150. But yeah, this looks like the cube's probably gonna slow you down a little bit, but not too big. Actually, it's a good practice. Like, what I'm gonna say is, I think it looks like a wooshwong. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Or I got one for like $10 off of Amazon. Oh, it's a tripod. If it's a wooshwong regular, you can definitely make them okay. I still don't like any of them that much, but like, good practice on how to set up your cubes. Get something that's a little smoother, and then even if it's not magnetic, a good cuber can really control it. Can still control it really well. So, let's see. Full green bar. Not that. This is a pretty. Okay, so the green bar is not that crazy. We're gonna do green, obviously. We got this. Green's gonna. This is like a M slice bar, and then it's a 2-move, 2 bars. That's pretty nice. Wait, what? Oh, whoa. Wait a second. Wait, what? What is white? I'm not so sure about white. I don't know. Green looks really easy, but white ended up being pretty quick as well. Let's see exactly what happens. I'm not sure if you thought that was going to solve the whole white center. It looked like you thought that was going to solve the whole white center. If you did and just messed it up, that's okay. Too weird. Wait a second. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so right here, first big thing. This is the big thing. Oops. So I'm not exactly sure what was going on here. It looks like it was just a mistake, but given that if it's just a mistake, I'm not gonna go over like if you already know it's a mistake, I'm not gonna bother telling you that because like you don't need me to tell you that. I'm sure that, like, it looks like you already knew. That's something you probably already knew, but, we're in this position right... No, we're in... We're in... No, we're in... Right, we're in this position right here. Essentially, we're in this position right here, and what Bumbacuber does is he goes... He wants to make a 2x3 with the pieces available to him, so he goes like this. And then he goes like this. But you can just cancel those moves. So this is a great time to learn how to where you cancel your moves. Right here. And then while you're here, just do the U at the same time. And it's a couple extra moves because you have to do the R, and then the U and the F faces, but it's definitely faster, so. Yo, Aryan, alright. Aryan submitted as well. Oh yeah, I just saw it, so cool. Alright, you'll be up in 2 weeks. So, 2 weeks from today. Just a heads up. Yeah, you better get ready for Snowco. Gotta get, I guess Max isn't going, so you can get third. One sec, is this blue? Or red? I'm confused. Oh, he's doing green. Right, okay. One sec. Sometimes it's hard to just figure out exactly... The finger tricks on that first center, though, seem like really risky. I'm not so sure how I feel about those in general. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, shoot, right. Oh, one sec. Switch, got it. One big thing I've already noticed, I'm not going to mention this again, just because Max does it. In general, saying, like, because someone does something that's really fast is, that means it's correct, that's, first of all, in general, not the best idea. The people who are really bad at that, myself, just because I do something does not mean it's good, that's for sure. Also, Max, U prime is not as good as U2. Gotta get those U2s going. I mean, U2 on your left hand and right hand is like really nice, and all the new age turners can do them on both. I can only do right, and it's definitely worse than me able to do both. You gotta be able to at least do it on one hand. Definitely gotta practice getting those U2s going. Alright. The execution on those centers was okay, just a lot of uncertainty kind of on what after you did the first center, just a lot of uncertainty. Alright, that was fine. Another finger trick thing, so what he's doing right here is to do the flip. So say you want to flip this edge right here, he's going like this. The same alg, but you cannot, this rotation is killer. So you're essentially, to do the F, you're essentially doing a rotation and then a U, and then you're like rotating back at the end. You gotta do it with thumb. Thumb is like a requirement. You can do it either way. I really hate doing it the inverse like this. I think it's weird. You can do it like the inverse, or you can do it the front ways. But you gotta do it with thumb. It's like a requirement. So two big things you're gonna have to switch, like for sure. Yo, Pokeblock, I'm way too old to be switching to U2 with my left hand. I can sort of do it for the bad R-perm. You seem pretty comfortable with the inserts on your left. Are you left-handed? Or just pretty good at being ambidextrous? Another just instance, shoot. Just another instance of, yeah, just a lot of, just the cube rotations for, cube rotations galore for, instead of doing, F turns. Honestly, this Wushuang is also just so bad. This cube looks so bad. Yeah, you're doing parody like Max Park with the U primes. You're killing me. Alright. Wait, you gotta be left-handed. You can write with both hands. Bumbacuber, I'm assuming he's ambidextrous. He says he can write with both hands, but yeah, doing the U-perm with lefty, that was what really tipped me. I was like, okay, you must be left-handed at the very least. But it's good that you're trying to be ambidextrous. Being ambidextrous and cubing is definitely a better idea. You can insert on both sides much easier. But the F turns are key. I'm not gonna. Okay, so for finger tricks, essentially, I don't like the aggressive, like, weird, like, trying to do, like, strange back, and then, like, you did this thing at the start. I'm not a really big fan of that, especially at, I just don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's like something you shouldn't, okay, I might be wrong, but I don't think it's something you should just pick up from the get-go. You need to master the basics first before you kind of really move on to more advanced stuff. Like, get your U2s down. If you want to be ambidextrous, U2s with both hands is huge. Looks like you're probably pretty good at that. You're already comfortable inserting on the left and the right pretty equally, holding the cube well. But also, you gotta be able to do, if you're gonna be ambidextrous, maybe do Fs with your thumb on both hands. That's also like super key. You gotta get the fundamentals down, like U2s and your thumb F turns before you do like all sorts of crazy stuff. But other than that, I won't really talk about TBS again, or that kind of turning again. But this cube also this cube is terrible. It sounds bad, like, you can just hear it, that like, it's bad and like locky and like, ooh, yikes. Also, it is amplified by inaccurate turning, as all bad cubes are, which is probably due to, like, a minute 50, like, you're not gonna be the most accurate turner in the world, but still, definitely something to think about. Red, it's gonna do red. Okay, there's a couple of things here. Okay, we do yellow. I'm a little confused by the choice in yellow here. Is Bumbacuber... Bumbacuber, let me know, Bumbacuber. Some people... Oh, whoops. My bad. Bumbacuber, let me know if you can only do white and yellow to start. Because that would explain this more. But red is definitely easier in this scenario. Just kind of throwing that out there. Like, look right here. Like, right here you can see the first 2 bars are done in like half a second. Very quick first 2 bars. Yellow, like... They're okay, but yellow is clearly worse in this scenario, in my opinion. You can see the first 2 bars are all in the M slice, but they're definitely going to be slower. But let's say assuming we're doing yellow, so he executed the yellow bar or the yellow scenarios pretty well, given that we're doing yellow. And I also really like this. He holds white on bottom. He doesn't need to do a bunch of rotations, so he doesn't. Good on not doing the rotations. I've mentioned this in other analysis. Also, if you can keep for your first 2 scenarios, if you can keep them on U and D and you're comfortable with using the other moves, that's great. And I definitely think it's better. Bumbacuber seems to be comfortable with it. Good D moves. I'm not so sure about the choice in yellow. Oh yeah, Bumbacuber says you can do other colors, but more comfortable doing white, yellow. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. I mean, honestly, you're at 150. You can fix that in like, I couldn't do orange and red until I was like a minute 50 on 6x6 before I switched to doing orange and red for starting centers. It didn't even take that long for me, and I was like years and years in. So you can switch really easily. Just stop doing orange. Honestly, if you stop doing white and yellow for like maybe a week, maybe like 3 days, you'll be fine. Like, it's really, really easy. All right, good red start. Everything here is like Bumbacuber looks. He's cubing like a left-handed solver, which is fine. There's like. I was just kind of making a note of that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Alright, so we're going to show you kind of a quick trick here. Actually, no, he does it right. That's good. That's good. Okay, so here's the thing you can do. Let's see. So that was the right. In this case, it's a little bit... So you have the open slot on right. So you go up to here, and you have the open slot on right. So you do a D2. You could do a U2 and then insert on right, which is less comfortable. Or you could do a D2 and insert on left, which is more comfortable. I would definitely recommend the U2 just because D moves are just like... When you're essentially doing the same thing, like, and you're already pretty ambidextrous, like, a U2 is way safer. Highly recommend doing the U2 instead there, but not a big deal. Alright, commutator, done with centers. Okay. Here's something that is definitely something I was doing this back in the day. So right here, the first thing I notice, so like let's make this an edge. Boom, boom, boom. Here, I'll give you. Okay, this is actually another thing I noticed right here. So let's take a look at. Bumbacuber is going to make the blue and white edge. So he's got these 2 pieces right here. And the last piece is right here. So this is fine. He did the first rotation to get... Now he had to do the rotation to get the pieces he wants. He's got them all right in front of him. At this point, there's no more rotations needed. You can do... You ought to set it up real quick. This is a really weird centers. Oh, I got blue and white right here. That was weird. I got the same thing essentially. Alright, so we got Bumbacuber's got this right here, right in front of him, blue and white. This is like, I'm just kind of just an example, so you can do this. That's actually the better way to do it. I would have just gone like this with the rotation. This is definitely the better option. Solve. Solved with no rotations. But this is just kind of a product of how Bumbacuber is holding the cube and is turning. So rotation to insert. And then I'm very confused as... Oh, I see. Oh, he just fumbled the keys. Okay, that's fine. This right here is what concerns... Oh, shoot. So the first two things are pretty... I've already gone over. I'm going to go over the part that really kind of worries me. So he just kind of fumbled. And then this right here is... Right here, this should be a U wide prime to fix this. But he instead does a rotation and then does this realignment with both his hands like it's an M move. This is really killer. You gotta be doing... You're in this position right here, or like right here, and he rotates here and does this. But you gotta go back up. Well, ideally you wouldn't be in this position, but you just go back up and do a U. Because this is just a terrible habit to be in. It's something I do honestly too much, but it's a bad habit to be in. Also, and then the next thing I was gonna talk about is, so Bumbacuber's now made a second edge, blue and white, which is great. But something that we can do at any level, no matter who you are, just a great habit to get into is, so you got your second edge solved. Don't just go ahead and throw it in the U or the D layer. Wait, because that's essentially you're wasting moves. Wait and see. Look, you don't have to take it out yet. Just look and see what you got around you. He's got two green and yellows up here. That what he should do is probably remove this blue and white at the same time as putting in these green and yellows. Let's go ahead and takes them out, and then he starts looking for his next piece, which is very, very common. I think like almost everyone, like, it's very common. You want to finish your whole edge, and then, yeah, but... Alright, so Bumbacuber's also putting all four of his edges in the U or D layer. I think that's great. If you're 150 on 5x5, I think that's a really good idea. He's actually doing a pretty good job at kind of canceling his rotations to doing his flips into rotations to get him there. So I like that. But... Go looking back. What was that exactly? So got that flipped, and then wait, what? I'm not exactly sure. It looked like he did a cycle. Wait. Alright, I think that was a cycle. It's hard to see exactly what it is, but I like that. It was ended up being pretty good. Very good stuff to give you a cycle. You don't even have to have that efficient of cycle. Just being comfortable with cycles at this point is very good. Definitely something that you want to be looking out for. Right. Pretty good at being ambidextrous. Actually, just one U-perm from the left, one from the right. That's pretty good. Definitely one of the more ambidextrous cubers I've ever seen, so pretty impressive there. Let's see what he's got. This one's going to be white first. Sure of it. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Bumbacuber, what I've seen so far, I like his ability to read the first center is pretty good. It wasn't necessarily the hardest first center in the world to do completely blind, but I don't think it was all on the M slice. It might have been almost all on the M slice. But he did it like... he did the first center, I think, completely blind, which at 150 is very impressive. You definitely don't need to be able to do this, but I mean, obviously it's very helpful, so I like that a lot. Good stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Pretty standard stuff. Nothing too weird. Looks like just a little bit like you're kind of getting anxious when you don't find anything instantly, and like that's not a big deal. Like not being able to find it, like your goal shouldn't be to just find anything immediately. Your goal should be to find the best thing soon, as opposed to like it doesn't have to be an instant, like, you can make plenty of pauses during your edges and still be fine. Like, especially in this edge pairing specifically, it just feels kind of rushed. Alright, so yeah, you were pretty comfortable with cycles on your last 4. I really like this. Being comfortable with cycles in your last 4 is not like 100% necessary, but it's really going to make it easier on the transition into kind of doing more advanced stuff, being a lot more efficient. I think it's a really good idea. I really like this. Good stuff. This cube is killing me. It's so bad. Let's check it out. Just like a lot of the turning, just it seems like pretty choppy just due to the fact that you have a bad cube and it seems like you're trying to turn so fast. Alright, that was another. That was a pretty easy center. That was like a really easy center. But it's another completely blind center from Bumbacuber. I'm really liking these. Very good at planning out his first center. Probably the best. His first center planning is relative to his speed is like pretty impressive. Like, he shouldn't be this good at playing the first center at only 150, but obviously it's a positive thing. That's right there. This cube is that was like a whole second and a half on just because the cube sucks and the turning's a little. Honestly, try setting up your cube better. Try turning a little slower and more fluidly. Just like you're trying to turn so fast that it's really definitely not helping you out here. You try to turn so fast, makes your turn slower. I'm like very positive. Okay, wait one sec. You got this H case. So I don't know if Bumbacuber doesn't know this H case, but just go over it real quick. I think I've been seeing some weird stuff in terms of last 2 centers, but I wasn't 100% sure. This one's definitely weird though. So Bumbacuber's got this case right here. I think what he does is 2 commutators, but boom. Definitely, yeah. That'll definitely help out. Yeah, it looks like he does 2 commutators. Yeah, definitely that's just a good thing to know. Nothing too crazy about it, but. Yeah, just like a lot of just like. It seems like a lot more, like less. The turning just seems so fast relative to the cube, and the turning just getting like slowed down by the cube, and it just doesn't. The turning definitely does not need to be this quick. Like the edge, like the finding of the edges is definitely the main issue, and not. I'm not the most like. The edge selection seems to be okay. I need to look at it a little closer. I do like the last 4 edges. I think the last 4 edges are pretty appropriate. Probably a little more more impressive than the overall average. But like you said, you thought you thought your first 8 edges were the worst part of your solve, and I probably agree. But all right, let's look at the last one. Alright, so again, just kind of quick note. Again, you had the option of doing a U2 or a D2, and you chose the D2. Just, like right here, you could make the bar on top and insert it on left, but you did a D2 and inserted it on right. It seems like you're clearly comfortable doing them both. Just always pick the U2. D2 is just worse. It's just not necessarily slower, but you're going to mess it up more. Alright, I like this. Bumbacuber is good. He kept the white center on top the whole time. I really like that. I think it's really good. Very impressive. Good habits to have there. The quick turning on centers is more acceptable because centers are smoother and it's like a good practice to turn fast, but what center are you building? Oh, okay, I see, okay. Just kind of like in this solve specifically, I think it's probably almost, I'm sure it's true in all of them, but it looks like you're doing your like. It looks like you're pairing up 3 edge pieces instead of 2, essentially. The turning is just like killer. This cube is terrible. Yeah. Well, that is an interesting execution for that on big cubes also. Don't do that execution. But, alright, so the biggest thing for last, I guess we already talked about most everything else, but the biggest thing on last state or first state overall is that essentially what you're doing is you're finding your first piece in the E layer, which is good. And then you're finding your second piece in the U or D layer, and you're inserting it. And then you're finding your third piece in the E or D layer, and then you're inserting it, and then you made your whole edge. But the thing is, a lot of the time, there are going to be 2 pieces in the E layer, like, already there. And it's not going to happen all the time. It's going to be pretty hard to find them because you're looking for a lot of different things. And it's not necessary. It's not something you need to be doing all the time at 150, but I think you're doing it a little too little. Like, you need to be looking out for that kind of stuff. It's really important. That's like the key to having smooth last state edges is you can pause all you want as long as you're finding like good options. So yeah, so big things, turning, get a new cube or fix the current one. You're turning too quick for sure, especially on that cube. It's really slowing you down. I don't think that you're tracking pieces while you're turning. Other than that, kind of some interesting choices. It looks like you're making some advanced, trying to do some advanced stuff with like weird back moves while you're doing U prime, and other kind of stuff I mentioned before. Like really master the basics of your TPS. Centers look pretty solid. I really liked, really good at finding the full first center. That's really good. Really gonna, it's obviously really good. Maybe not like, it's not like a necessity at this point, but it's definitely gonna be something you're always gonna be strong at for 5x5. Edges, the big thing again was like finding kind of more efficient edges. The F moves. Oh yeah, the other thing I was talking about is the F moves instead of the regular flip. And then on last 4, I really like last 4. Got a good mix of slice and cycles. May not have been the most efficient cycles, but honestly, that's totally fine at this point. Don't really need to change anything too much there. I think standard practice will do you just fine. You're starting early with them, and I think you'll just naturally get better at those. The biggest things are TPS turning slower, fixing the cube, U2s, the Fs, the fundamentals of your turning, and then anything else I may have mentioned more early on. And, yep, that's the analysis.